is to groom and mobilize youth graduates for the promotion of national unity, sustainable development goal, self-reliance, and to prepare them for leadership roles.
You were a copper so many years ago here, so it started in 1985. What was it like?
Oh, wow. I will say that it was a wonderful experience for me because ordinarily, at that time, nothing would have brought me to Ogun State. I came to Ogun State. It was a bit strange to me because I have not been
to this part of Nigeria.
Yes, to this part. Well, I was born in Newadwn. Okay. And when I was just maybe about going to a year with the creation of Midwest, my parents moved to Midwestern states. But I would say I was a baby then. The National Youth Service Corps, gave me that opportunity again to come to the Southwest. And it was a wonderful experience to me because I got integrated into the community, and the way of life of the people of Ogun State was something I cherished. And I would say today I'm married to a Yoruba man. Having been a core member here in Ogun State, I got to know the way and life of the people. The way they dress, their culture, the tradition, and the food they eat. And the people were warm towards me. They were really wonderful. And I remember those days, someone like the late Dr. Lateef Adegbite was like a father to me. The late Chief Toye Koka was also a father to me. And till today, I see Ogun State as another home.
And by marriage, you are here finally.
Yes.
As by virtue of being Mrs. Fanny.
Yes.
All right, we're still looking at the NYSC in the past 47 years. Another guest has joined us, so we'll be bringing him in now. Also a former copper who also has children who have served, so that we'll make it a broader discussion, so to say. We'll take this break. We'll be right back.
This is what happens when we elect public servants and don't tell them what to do for us. Voting is not the end. It is just the beginning.
We have been joined by a public commentator and a regular guest here on a very many current affairs program in OGTV. Mr. Ola Animashan, you're welcome to the program.
It's good to be here.
As I said earlier on, he himself, a former copper, and of course, maybe one or two of his children have also served the nation. So let me just throw this question to you. What are the major achievements of this scheme, especially looking at turning our diversity to prosperity?
Sincerely speaking, it's been a wonderful scheme for those who initiated the idea, particularly when you look at the problems. I want to use the challenges, the problems that came with the Civil War, and the need to kind of rehabilitate and reintegrate Nigerians, not just one side of Nigeria. Then the concept came up some years after, around 1973, I suppose. And when you look at the positive effects, serious one, you cannot but appreciate the initiators of these ideas that has blossomed over the years, particularly in the course of reintegrating and harmonizing Nigerians, because you have to bear something in mind. Nigeria is a country of nations. When you now had such a problem that almost kind of brought us to our knees, and we were able to emerge from it, then the need to further reintegrate towards creating a sense of harmony and belonging for all and sundry becomes imperative. And if you are able to do that through the National Youth Service Corps, the way it's been done, then it's inevitable that we've got to appreciate it and think of how we can sustain it successfully, because sustainability is very, very crucial here. And if we are able to do that, then the sky is not even the limit for the country.
Okay, Mr. Animashaw, I'll still stay with you. We know that aside fostering unity with this NYSC scheme, another aspect that we know about NYSC is youth development. And youth development, do you think this youth have been, they are developed enough within this scheme frame? Do you think this period is enough for them to be developed totally?
Seriously speaking, when you look at the whole concept, you see, it's one thing for you to have an idea. It's one thing for you to say you are a student, you are going to a school. Okay. It's another thing for the school to pass through you, or for you to allow the school to pass through you. Beautiful concept, good integrative capacity. But it's now the challenge of the individual corpers to make sure that they make the best of the opportunity that we have at hand in terms of harmonization. Look at it this way. The language aspect of it enough when you move from your domain, because it's not the best for you to be born somewhere, you schooled there, you grew up there, you married there, and you are unable to experience other parts of the nation where you say you are in a country. So it is for you now to look at how you can adapt effectively. I was talking about language. I'm a Yoruba man. But I can speak a little Hausa, I can speak a little Igbo. I can say, Biagore, Osiso, Anamabia. It's like, come here, be fast, or I'm coming, Miri. All those things. I can say, Sano, Megida, Yamata, Gida, Alaikenu, Inagedia. You try to see how you can be interested in others, such that it opens the doors for you. And when you are able to do that, it engenders harmony. And when there's harmony, there will be peaceful coexistence. So it's one thing to have a beautiful concept. It's another thing for those who are getting involved in that program to do it with the intention of making sure that the objective of that program will become a reality, a positive ideas that can easily integrate the nation. Although the organizers of the program also may have a lot to do as regards that, but whatever they are able to do, if you as an individual is not buying into that idea, then it becomes something else entirely.
Okay, Dr. Mrs. Fanny, I will look at the program you usually do within the 1-year mandatory service for Youth Corps. We know that for 3 weeks they will undergo this skill acquisition. They've gone to school for education. Why are you introducing skill acquisition to this scheme?
Well, I want to say that NYSC, if you look at the objectives of the founding father, it's also stated there that for the development of the youths, for them to become self-reliant.
Okay.
It's like the founding fathers envisioned that there might become a time when government alone will not be able to absorb or give jobs, or the jobs will not be there. And apart from that, there is also the need for the youths to continue to contribute to the socio-economic development of the country. So the SAID, the Skills Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program of the scheme, is an integral part of our program. And for the core members who are graduates, they are elites too. For them to be able to acquire skill outside just the certificates that they have, the NYC went as far as even establishing skill centers. For now, we have in the 3 geopolitical zones of the country. We have in Gombe, we have in Ekiti, and there is the one of Delta. And as I speak, because we know the importance of skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development, we also have now a department, a full-fledged department in the scheme. So during the orientation period, core members are encouraged to key into one of the skill sets. By so doing, after the service year, you will be able to become self-reliant. You are not just waiting for a government job that is not in existence. You are not waiting to be pounding the streets of all the cities within the country looking for a job that is not there. So during that orientation period, we have the in-camp and the post-camp training for core members. It does not end within that 3 weeks. Okay. After the 3 weeks, they go, into the post-camp training. So we have various skill sets. We have 12 skill sets that the core members can key into. We have the engineering aspect of it. We have the agricultural aspect of it. We have the cosmetology aspect of it. We have under it, you have some subsets like the tailoring aspects of it, and so many other skill sets that the core members key into. This is to impact their lives, add value to their lives, so that they don't just rely on the certificates alone. We've found a good number of our core members who have passed through the skills acquisition and entrepreneurship development program of the scheme. Okay. They are now on their own. I can cite an example. If you hear of Wilson Lemonade in Ogun State today, I used to be one of our core members. That is just an example of so many of them. So a good number of them, before they finish the service, they're already on their own. Some of them have outfits where they also make shoes. Some of them are into leather works. They make shoes. And I want to say that, in fact, some of the shoes we wear, that people wear, are also produced by our core members. Some of them have also gone into tailoring, making clothes. And I want to say proudly, without mincing words, that the core members have really contributed to the fight against COVID-19 through the Skills Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Program. During this period, apart from our core medical personnel that are also in the forefront, contributing their own to the fight against COVID-19. We've had a good number of our core members who have produced face masks. I want to say we are amongst the first to start producing face masks, our core members, quality face masks. And we have also donated some to the state government. And having seen what the core members produced, the state government even asked some of our core members to be part of the team that are now producing face masks for the states. That aside, we also have the hand liquid soap, the hand sanitizers, which are produced quality ones by our core members. We also have some of our core members who have also produced the disinfecting chamber. We also have those who have also produced the automated, the mechanical device, the automated one that you can use to, wash your hands, okay, get the sanitizer, and so many other things the core members have been doing in the area of skill acquisition.
Okay. All right, the face of the current security challenges we have in Nigeria, madam, some people will say the scheme has lived its purpose since core members now have control on where to serve. What do you say to this?
Let me, core members, they don't have control over where they want to serve, receive proper Medicare, or where their parents live on health grounds. So we don't just post core members and say, okay, but it's also some core members, well, they sometimes find themselves within their, maybe their locality or the state of origin where they come from. When such happens, you cannot rule out the fact that sometimes you also need these core members, because as much as possible, core members in a state should be a representative of Nigeria. So you find them, but mostly core members in the states during the service year are from other parts of the
Mr. Newadwn, as a parent, when your child was on service, do you think you feel the same way now than when you felt, what you felt that year about not actually caring where he or she is posted to? Let
me quickly appreciate one angle before going to the safety and security aspect. The aspect of handiwork, the entrepreneurship and skill acquisition. It wasn't there before. I love the evolution because some of us monitor closely what goes on in our society. Because it's like government discovered that the way things are going, yeah, government is the biggest employer of labor, so to say, but the government cannot employ everybody. And even you as a parent, even before the NYSC started this thing, you should have known that it's not just a paper certification alone. You need to have a kind of a skill. My kids, my own children, don't let me call them kids, have skills. At least one learn tailoring, the other one mobile repairing and doing mobile phone. So one thing you have to know is that this is a beautiful concept. And for NYSC to have bought into that, I mean, it's quite heartwarming. And I hope the sustainability, like I've said the other time, will be there. Now coming back to security, it's quite a potpourri. It's a challenge. Because when you say you are integrating, you are harmonizing the nation. If we want to shy away from the security challenges, we might not be able to do it effectively. It is for the government and the organizers of this scheme to know that the interests and protection of the corpus should be primemost in their agenda. It is when you have life that you can continue to develop the nation. People have come up with different ideas that maybe it should be regionalized. What if you are doing it in Southwest or Southeast and where you finish and you do it? What if and unexpected happens there, how do you contend with it as a parent? So it is for the government to think first about safety, security of the corps members, such that there won't be anything untoward happening. We've had solid experiences in the past about this, where corps were lost to the Boko Haram and all the rest. But where you are able to make a safe keep for them, they don't really have to be at the forefront where there are crises. What you needed is protect them, let them serve, let them do what they have to do under serious protection. And I'm thinking, I don't know how far this one has come into play, the issue of insurance for the corps members. Even if it's going to be just for the 1 year, not just an ordinary insurance, because you are serving the nation. The nation must be interested in you, collectively and individually. If we're able to do that, then we can say the parents will be rest assured that we are being taken care of through our words, and our words are in safe hands, either by the provision of the insurance, by safety measures, security measures that have been put in place, and they themselves have to watch out, because you never know. Sometimes it might not even be in the forefront of the front line of the crisis sector. It could be some other places. So as an individual generally, you must be conscious of your environment.
But for now, parents are happy about the allowance, no doubt.
Of course. But that brings me to the issue of those that are even willing to serve that are not coppers. Okay. Because over the years, we've had stories of people students trying to go for service, fake ones. And I want to appreciate NYC efforts as regards that. At least to an extent, they've been able to checkmate that. If you don't get a clearance from your school, at least as a parent, I've seen that at play, your school will surely have to clear you through the Senate that you are a graduate before NYC can deploy you. And if they can sustain that, more stringent measures to be put in place, because if you look at the 30,000, it's quite enticing for a freshly graduating student. And if we don't take care, a lot of conferences might set in along the line.
Madam, what ingenuities is the NYC as a whole putting in place to make the scheme a 21st century, to give the scheme a 21st century look?
Well, let me say that the scheme now is, when it comes to the mobilization of corps members for national service, it has become one that is technologically driven.
Okay.
When we served, mobilization of corps members was done manually. Yeah. But today, corps members, wherever they are in the world, can be registered for the National Youth Service. And this has made things easier, seamless, and faster. So when it comes to mobilization of corps members, can be mobilized online, and corps members too can easily print their call-up letters online. The issue of you having to go to your university as regards then to go and get your call-up letter is no longer there. And this has also helped in saving lives, because before now, most of them are on the road, they are traveling to go and get their call-up
So this
letters.
system definitely will also help in passing out the next batch, especially in the face of the coronavirus. What do you think? Because you must pass out, I mean, the batch that has finished must pass out, or what are the plans, despite the fact that we have the pandemic around?
Well, the batch that has finished tomorrow, which is Thursday, the 28th of May 2020, the 2019 batch B Stream 1 corps members will be passing out, and that will start from tomorrow. And we are quite aware of the lockdown, no movement and all inter-state movement is not there. But I want to say that we have some of our corps members on ground those ones who are on ground and who live within the locations, because the distribution of certificate of national service will be done in all the 20 local governments in Ogun State, and there are 3 sub-offices, Agbara, Ogijo, and Ojodu, Abiodun. So the core members, who some of them, they live just walking distance towards all these locations. So tomorrow they will walk in there. We've put in serious arrangements for the distribution of a certificate of national service, while also adhering strictly to the protocol, in respect of COVID-19. The core members, like you asked, in all the nationwide, in all the states nationwide, they will pick their certificates. It's not going to be online.
Okay.
It's not going to be online. And those who cannot collect their certificates now, they can do so after the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Mrs. I will stay with this monitoring mechanism that the NYSC put in place. I know that in some workplace that this good call your team will go there to check on them unannounced. Why is this so?
Yeah, we go to check on them unannounced. One, we don't just check on, we check their welfare is our #1 priority. And let me also quickly say that in all the local governments, we have local government inspectors who also go from time to time to check on these core members. But we also check on them without announcing, because we want to ensure that they are on ground in their various places of primary assignment doing their work. We've had instances where some core employers connive with core members and they are not on ground, they've traveled. So when we go, we have to monitor to ensure that our core members, they are okay, and their core employers are meeting their statutory responsibility to these core members, and that they are on ground. That's why we go on and
okay, Mr. Animashaun, I will go to this community dwellings where our core members dwell. Do you think they are doing enough in their communities to develop? Because we know that serving is also showing your dexterity in allowing the community to be developed, so to say. Do you think this core members are doing enough in their residing communities to develop it?
Basically, you can expect that there could be a tendency for recalcitrancy or absenteeism, so to say, in doing what you are expected to do where you are supposed to have your community engagement. And that is why we still have to go back to the issue of serious and effective monitoring. Where there is an effective arrangement, the day they have to do their community service, definitely there must be some things attached to it. And I think there are things attached to it because they have to sign some things, some papers. I don't know whether it is still operational. So if you are able to do that, then you can enforce the communal participation. And the community themselves have to be receptive enough and be engaging enough with the core members to make sure that they do what they are supposed to do. Because if the community is a kind of community that is nonchalant to their environment as well, then the core members will virtually have nothing to do. But where they are engaging with the core members and the organizers of the service program are able to coordinate their activities through effective monitoring, I think it will be better for further development of the nation. And it makes the core members to have a kind of responsibility and responsiveness. This will develop them further such that by the time they are on their own in their various communities, they will be able to say, this possibly is how to do things, and we can do it better if we go this way.
All right, thank you.
We want to thank you very much. This is just 47 years. We hope that by the time the scheme turns 50, it will have a total 21st century look that we crave for in Nigeria, we can only continue to improve and improve. So it's the 47 years of the scheme in NYSC in Nigeria, and we've been having in the studio the state coordinator, Ogun State coordinator, who incidentally served in Ogun State, served in OGTV, Dr. Mrs. Belinda Ameze from the ruling house. She's from the ruling house in Delta State, am I right?
No, I'm from the Benin Royal family.
Okay, Benin Royal family. Okay.
Then you should call her a princess.
Princess. Belinda Ameze, funny. Thank you for coming to the program. We wish you more success in your office as you strive to actually make the dreams of the founding fathers come to stay as far as the NYSC is concerned. Thank you very much. And of course, as usual, I also want to thank Mr. Ola Newadwn for always being there for us whenever we have cause to call him. He's also a former copper who has children who are also ex-coppers, so to say.
Thank you very much.
All right. So that's it on this segment of the program. But don't go away. Don't forget, today is May 27th, the Children's Day. So we have something special in that line. We'll be right back.
Coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, is a current reality. Our nation is on lockdown, just as many other countries of the world.
No school, no group worship.